Okay, and we are live on YouTube. Hold on, you guys. I want to see if we can brighten things up though for you. Um, Sorry again for the people out there who do watch this and have been closely paying attention. A bit busy today. I do apologize. There's been a lot of people who've been waiting, um, one way or another. Whew, sorry about that, you guys. Um, I had to fix something real quick. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and deal with it the way it is. But what we're gonna go and talk about for today is simply, oh, almost forgot. Okay, and we are live also on Periscope. So before I even get started, my apologies to everybody out there, and to everybody out there. Hello, hola, konnichiwa, salaam, ciao, namaste. Peace to all. This is the Pink Elephant in the Room conversation. Yes, we were a bit late today. There were some things that had to get done, and it took me a minute. And I do apologize to the people out there, but we are still going to have a conversation for today, one way or another. We will be having guests that will be coming in soon, but we're going to go ahead and start from here. And what we're going to be talking about is the importance of not taking life so seriously, um, and what's going on. There's literally so much more you can do with life. Don't worry about the fact of, for example, when we talk about the people who are spiritually awakened in a sense, um, what you have to understand as one person instead, and as you can see, one of our guests is here, but they're gonna be outside, but they are gonna be a part of the conversation one way or another. But what you have to understand is, Alan Watts said this, and I love how he stated this, that you have the spiritual man and you have the priest in a sense. The spiritual man shouldn't always be so serious, or better yet, I'm sorry, the spiritual man, the regular man in a sense. The spiritual man shouldn't always be so serious, and the regular man should be more observant of what's going on. You need to be willing to see both sides. When you are on your spiritual journey, that is a great thing in your life. But what you have to understand on the flip side of that is the fact that it's not all about being serious. It's not all about, oh, I have to be this holy grail of whoever you're trying to be. It's about being who you truly are. Don't worry about the fact of what other people are saying, doing, what you see other spiritual leaders doing. You have to focus on being who you genuinely are, period. You can learn from these people, including myself, but I am not the end all be all for everybody, period. I am just one person who is growing who I am as I discuss with everybody else who they are, and loving and growing who they are. You have to realize that it's not about idolizing. It's not about reading all the time. It's not about, I gotta focus on this one person, what they say. They must be correct. You have to make choices. You have to create and choose. And perhaps for people who are reading, what I would suggest to you, please keep on reading. But as time progresses, you have to realize there's going to be a point, and this has happened to me, where I still read, but there are so many books that have the same nonchalant thing that doesn't perfect what I desire fully, and you have to look within yourself, create those stories for yourself, and be who you truly are. And realizing that life is not about playing a serious game, it is about playing a game and realizing the relativity, the faults, and so on. I'm sorry, what would you say?
I think just forming your ideas and creating your own reality. When you do absorb information and knowledge through outside resources, attaching that with your own ideologies, and allowing the universe and those records within yourself to project into the path that you have designed already and created for yourself. And I always say no self doubt. And when you have that space within yourself to be still and understand the principles that are at hand with self, you begin to realize that everything that you need is within. Everything that you need to absorb and obtain this life cycle is within. And we all just need to take a moment and give self care. And within that, it's just not necessarily just shutting down, but giving yourself that time to really think of actual thought. And people go their whole life being a part of programs and being a part of other realities that are not their own or conducive to their own reality, and haven't formulated an actual real thought for themselves to say, this is what I like, this is what I do not like, this is what I feel is for me, and start directing yourself in your path. And we start recycling this energy and start being in a space where we conform to other ideas, present reality.
I think I wouldn't put it myself.
Yeah.
That what we do is we say we feel this way or that way. For example, um, whether it be Republican or Democrat, whether it would be I'm Christian, Jewish, I'm Hindu, I'm Buddhist, and whatnot. We fail to realize that we were given this through and by like a certain religion. Most people don't understand that you only believe this because he said that, she said that, she said that, he said that, she said that, he said that gave this to you to believe in what you believe in. It's not of your own thought process or anything.
Because we only have the attention span of, I say, a gnat.
Well, because
It was
no,
point.
because it's yeah, it's
Five
seconds.
seconds.
Because when for the folks out there, you gotta understand when we talk about YouTube, for example, um, people won't pay attention half the time, and the reason why I say half because there are actual people who are aware and being observant, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who only watch a video if you can capture them within the first 30 seconds, sometimes only the first 15 seconds to get their attention.
And that's where breaking away from those cycles exists. Well, you have to understand that these time frames are just an illusion that are set up around to is built around our minds. And it's only programmed minute by minute, well, second by second, minute by minute, hour, day to day, and it just goes on and on and on. And being in a space where when you're in recognition, take the responsibility, because a lot of us won't take that responsibility and say, oh snap, like I see it for what it is, so I'm not going to be in that space where I feel like I this is not my problem. This is just something that is. I'm gonna accept it for what it is and just let it be. But you don't have to. You can choose. You can choose to be a part of your own biological genetic program. And what I mean by that is simply taking time to just have self care for self. Whether that be meditation, taking time for mindfulness, thoughtfulness, going out in nature, disconnecting from these things that are surrounding. And some people say it's really hard. You make time for stuff that is important for you.
Correct.
Making time for stuff that is important for you, and if you see the if you see a lot of things for the bigger picture for what it is, you'll definitely make that time, especially if you're trying to grasp the greater purpose of what's going on and not just taking stuff for surface value. And being in that space to say, okay, I choose. When we talk about choices,
Yes.
I choose. I choose to be in this frame of mind. I choose to be in this space. And everything is on point and on purpose and will be what it is supposed to be. But within that, having fulfillment and joy within that purpose. Staying in that present moment because it's what's given to you, because you give it to yourself. It's the present. They call it that for a reason. And like earlier, we were talking about not 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 staying in the past or focusing too much on the future, because a lot of those things will keep you bound in a certain slot that you cannot participate in your
Kind of
past.
stagnates your
Yeah.
evolution of who you are.
Yes.
This is all you got is right now.
Yeah.
That's all you got right now.
All you have is
yeah.
right now.
That's all you have.
And sometimes we'll be here and we'll check out spiritually. And we'll say, I don't want to do this. Or I'm focused on, well, what I got to do tomorrow? What I got to do the day before, day after,
Yeah.
the week, the month, the year. And it's like, you're so focused in on what is ahead, we don't even see what's right in front of us. And that's where that saying goes, you can't see the forest for the trees. And it's like, what? Like, okay, I'm participating in the now, but my mind and my spirit and thoughts are towards the future. You can't predict that.
Well, what I would say is, in a sense, due to our evolution, we can't predict that as a whole because we have not comprehended how to even use
No,
that in
it's
our own
conditioned.
ideal.
We
Yes,
do
conditioned.
comprehend.
Yeah,
we choose. You choose to make time for what you want to make time
No,
for.
no. What I'm stating is when we're looking into, for example, our future, the thing we don't understand is most people when we talk, for example, about clairvoyancy, you have not gotten to that extent where you are so clear minded about what's here now that instead of worrying about what's in the future, because then you really know there, let's say, quintillions of choices you can make, and at that point you're so just nonchalantly not worried anymore about the future because you know there are so many choices.
But then it boils down to what's important to you.
Exactly.
It's what's important to you. Am I focusing in on the bigger picture? If I'm going to make an investment in my life cycle, I'm going to bank on planting seeds. Am I planting seeds of fruit, fruitfulness, forgive me, fruitfulness of what is to come? I may not know what exactly these seeds are going to produce, but I know that I need to plant them for myself. And that's the best thing that I've seen in people who's investing. Not materialistic so much, but it is a good example because you put time and effort into the things that you see blossom. And that's how I feel about my time and my cycles and my spirit altogether. You can call it soul, spirit, whatever. That I'm going to invest in now to participate in what is to come so that my seeds are ready and available. And if I choose to jump into that next cycle, I've already set up solid foundations for what is to come. And that's how some people plan. It may be financially, like, oh, okay, I'm
Well,
gonna
no,
work hard.
I believe that to be
Yeah,
true because
I'm gonna
it's
work
we've
hard.
seen
I'm gonna
it,
put this in.
we've seen the
And,
history too far.
and right, that's how old money, long money, but on a spiritual tip, though.
Well, I think it's simply the same system put into any. You can literally expand that idea in any system, which you just stated. You were just stating earlier about that. If you want to grow yourself, you need to take time to yourself, and it doesn't matter how you guys play the game of life. It's about what you do with that time. Think again what you were just saying. It's planting a seed. There's a Chinese proverb I recall saying, if you want to plant a bamboo plant, it's for just eating for a day or something. If you want to plant 10 of them, it's for eating for a month. Or if you are, it's supposed to grow life in a month or something. And then if you grow 100 bamboos, it's to help an entire eon or something like
It
that.
is what you invest in.
Yeah, and what she said, like you said, whatever you're paying paying attention to.
Mm.
You're paying your energy, your actual currency. Because
Spending,
energy,
spending your time.
yeah. And like I said,
Wisely.
the real currency. You see, that's why they got these fiat notes. Fiat notes, yeah, it's energy. It's nothing bad or good, but the real you gotta do and really be aware and become in tune that the true wealth, the true currency is within
Yes.
you are the real energy. Because without your spirit, without your energy, then this body is not gonna be here. But yeah, and then there's levels to it, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But at
yeah.
least you're starting and putting
So
yourself in the right direction to have
yeah,
understanding. Yeah.
because obviously without your energy to express, then obviously you can't obtain whatever is needed, or whatever the currency that
Yeah.
you're gonna obtain. You always have to have that spark within that. It's like it has to have that flame, like that. It's just like a train. Have that that heat within that. That fire still burning, chugging along down the railroad and shit. And
Yeah.
just keep on chugging along like Thomas the Choo Choo Train.
It's work. It's work.
Yeah.
Because it's like you already come in
Yeah.
with so many different things. You come in with so
Exactly.
many different things, distractions, people, situations, a
Even
lot of
even
influence.
technology now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Why put more pressure on that? Why put more on that when you yourself, your own universe, your own biological matter is so much dedication? Your participation for much and seeing everything for what it is. Know that when you look at certain things, it is a part of the participation or distraction. It definitely is aiding to blindness and being able to see that and saying, okay, I see that for what it is. All right, I'm going to step back and maintain my own individuality, expand my third eye, open up these motherfucking chakras, and be in that space of enlightenment. And that's all we've come here to do is expand ourselves, learn what we need to, get on with it, and get to the next. Because I don't want to come back and do this again. Like I hear people, I hear people, but now more so I feel it. And it's like, wrap it up, B. I want to get to the point. Like, let's get to it. And you're not alone. My thing was, for a time, I did feel like it was on. And sometimes the path is narrow. There's things that's only for you. And then there's other moments where it's like, oh my God, I need to relate, I need to release, I need to understand and connect.
Yeah.
Ask for those things. God, body, mind, God, body, mind, soul, mind, body. Yeah. And God. Tapping into that pineal, tapping
Arm,
into
leg,
those
leg, arm.
Akashic. Yeah.
Arm, leg, arm.
You
Blah,
know,
blah, blah.
God body, God mind, God soul. You definitely are all of that. And I always say we are in creation. Be in. In creation in all manners. Because if you're the one, you are everything. And within that participation, that has no less value than a ant. Because the same cosmic energy that has created the universe, that has created me, you, definitely has created all of that. And we are all in sync because of purpose. And it has no more value than the next. And if we participate in that harmony, then we have understanding. So I say to each individual, tap in. Tap into that divine energy within yourself. Understand that the consciousness that relies on your very being and lies within your inner strength, you have. Everything we need is here.
I think that's the hardest part for most of us to see is
Everything
we have all the
need is here.
resources, but we constantly stay
It's
because
just a shift in perception. We
no,
have our whole
absolutely.
belief system And when you tap into that, you no longer have to look outside of yourself. There's tools here, and those are only sticky notes, whether it be religion, books, concepts, precepts, whatever you feel. Those are just sticky notes within our path upon this universe. But everything that we need is within. And when you steady yourself and you settle down and you tap in, there's a level of comfort within that. Because now you're sticking to your truths. And that has nothing to do with any pain, aggression, circumstance, situation,
Just being who you
victimization,
are.
whatever. You know that those experiences. And for some it's hard to let go than others. But when you're in transition and you're in those spaces of divine consciousness with self, and you settle and you release and let go and allow the universe to flow, you have complete understanding because the God within is unfathomable. You cannot comprehend all that is within the universe because these life cycles are only a moment in time, and you only are able to grasp what you need within this cycle.
Whereas this thing is to us,
If you can imagine
we don't
every
even
emotion
understand it
and
fully.
every possibility, that's an infinity of cycles. To come and experience love, do you understand how many perspectives, how many avenues, how many levels of that? Just in love, compassion, cycles of compassion, of love, of hate, of being the victim, of being the
Generosity,
predator,
jealousy, and
of
so
being the
on.
prey.
Exactly.
You see how many levels and layers? That is unfathomable. You cannot comprehend
Because it's too,
God.
it's too infinite. It's too
Yeah.
finite. And this is something we've talked about before that most people don't understand. That
That's what's staying in the present.
for example, when we're having this conversation right now, folks, you have to understand this conversation has happened thousands upon thousands upon thousands, and I'm just saying thousands, which is really more of millions upon billions upon trillions upon quintillions upon infinity, over and over in different avenues in different ways to touch different people and different ideals to get to an intrinsic area. It's kind of like being in a pool, and or like when you see one of those pools
There's a
in nature and
harmony.
there's streams and everything. It all plays a key role in streams.
There's a harmony. There's a harmony. When you seek balance within yourself, there's a harmony. You're not alone. The universe will send forward individuals, like-minded, spirit and soul, that will come in and give reassurance, and those who feel weary, you're not from here. Do not get settled in foreign lands, because we are definitely extraterrestrial beings. We don't belong here. We're having this experience and this exchange. Have it. Do not be attached. Do not take it to heart. Experience. Have it. Learn from others. Accumulate data. Love, hate, joy, pain, friendship, hatred, whatever you want to call it. Be. Just simply be. You're gathering information for these Akashic records. And carry on.
Do you think, sorry for interrupting you. We were just talking about that one of the basic parts of humans is we don't understand our sixth sense, our sense of knowing. That if we had understood that, you think it would be more simpler for us.
We already have a sense of knowing. It's actually just understanding the system for what it is, participate because the physical needs to perform in a certain manner, but know that these are individuals within a whole. Mind, body, spirit. Okay? We have to make sure that the flesh, the physical, is tended to. Food, clothing, and shelter. Then you get to the mind. You have that which is attached to the soul and all other parts of spirituality that's connected within it. And it's a rhythm. And once you tap into that rhythm, which is just seeing the matrix for what it is, and then say, okay, this is my individuality, this is who I am, this is where I am standing. B. There's no right or wrong. There's no roadmap. There's no guide necessarily until you sit down and settle with the satisfaction of self.
Mm.
Everything else is a pacifier. You're only soothing that alien. That's the monster within versus the alien.
Yeah, totally.
The thing is, we don't even see each other as one and the same, and that's why even you've noticed that I don't ever, whenever I talk about aliens, I don't consider them as aliens. I consider them as universal
It's
beings.
just not
'Cause
from
they're-
here. When we understand that we jump ship, these spaceships that we on, that we just come and reboot, reprogram, readjust, restart. We can't even tell the difference between sleep and death. You lucky when you wake up. The soul chooses. And when we begin to be in recognition that it's a part of the body, we give so much glorification to this physical. That's the prisoner because it's the anchor. These bodies keep you grounded to reality here. But it's only a passport to this experience. Nurture it, yes, take care of it, make sure it is in well standing so that these ships, these our real self is able to transport around. And when it's done, when the seasons have moved and shifted, we're able to go on to the next. And depending on how you take care of these vessels, is how long the program runs. And so it's completely up to you. And the quicker we have understanding of that, the quicker we're able to move on with the lessons and experiences. So you can choose to do whatever you want to. There's no positive and negative, no right or wrong. Down from the clubber, the druggie, the addict, the meditator, the yogi.
A choice.
It's a choice. Everybody has choices. And it's what you choose to do with self on the journey. Abide by your own, with the beginning, the end, and the middle. Be. Love thyself. Know thyself. Participate. This is all recreational processes. Because the ultimate will be fulfilled no matter what. You can make it easy, or you can make it very hard. You can make it sweet, salty, pleasant, or un.
It's
It
just
is what
simply
it
a
is.
choice.
It is. It is. No matter how many things you fathom, scientifical methods, parallel dimensional, interdimensional universes, how much you pray, bow down, elevate, meditate, penetrate, it all is. And I love you all for it. Because we're all one.
Absolutely.
And the same designer.
Do you have any?
Come on, Mike.
No, I was gonna say
You
something.
haven't say anything.
I was about to say something because you guys are all like, no, that's cool. You guys gotta do what you gotta
No, I
do.
know we're flowing and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, but I want to make sure you're a part of the
Well, because I wanted to
conversation.
express too, and I wanted to explain. Yeah, and it's true. Yeah, it's this body is just a rental, basically. It's not like
I
Yeah,
love
I
yeah.
wouldn't say it's a rental. I'd say it's
It's
more
a,
of a
It is a
stewardship.
rental.
You,
it is a
I like
rental.
no,
it.
no, no. I mean, you're taking care of it. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying. You
I
have to take
mean,
care of it, like with as a rental. Like you can't bring the rental back broken
well,
and
because it's like
yeah,
when you go
because then you have to pay
when you're in high school,
those.
when people get
Yeah,
like a rental tuxedo and stuff. Nobody wants it. You come
yeah,
back with the tuxedo you rented all
exactly.
messed up. Like
Yeah.
you remember on Family Guy, there was a joke on Family Guy where he threw up accidentally and he pooped and everything in his tuxedo, and instead of cleaning it, he gave it back to them, threw it
Yeah,
there, and ran off. And since nobody wants that, nobody
yeah,
cares for that because of the fact that it just like you taking care of your body, it's disgusting. It doesn't help. It looks ugly and everything. And I'm not saying that people look ugly or anything. What I'm simply saying is when you're not taking care of this body, it doesn't work right. It doesn't function right.
mm-hmm.
It grows more negative than positive when it's not fed what is necessary for it to function. You are a machine. You need to constantly oil the gears of who you are. The amazing thing about the machine you are being is you are an organic machine. You're not even made from the gears of what we know as metal or anything. In a sense, you have this unique bone structure, each intricate nerve that allows you to feel certain things. And all of this goes through this core process, two core processes that allow your body to function correctly, which is the brain, which is giving you, like my hand moving, it allows you to move your hand, but your heart pumps the blood. It's the gas that keeps everything functioning. If either of these are shut down, the body does not work correctly at all. And sometimes it fails completely. And I think that's like a big structure of who we are. But
Yeah,
I mean, I'll agree with you on
yeah.
that. Yeah, we're kind of rented. I feel like we're a steward
Oh
of
yeah,
this. We don't
exactly. Yeah,
own
yeah,
these
yeah. We don't.
bodies.
Yeah, we don't. And you're just. I mean, but it's yeah. It does go beyond. Some people can't even fathom it. I can't even sometimes even fathom it myself. But like just thinking about this all and stuff, it's just even though like I kind of understand it all, it still kind of like blows me away about just like the fuck. Like I'm like
You're on.
yeah,
You're on.
I'm on.
And
Yeah,
then
I'm
the
on. Yeah,
possibility of not being on
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's the attachment.
Yeah.
It's an ultimate attachment of,
Yeah.
we quickly forget we came in to existence. That's a beautiful thing. We
Yeah, it is.
celebrate
It's, yeah,
birth,
it's,
birth,
yeah,
birth, 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 birth.
it's
I
beautiful.
love, I'm here, I've arrived, I'm doing, and then we just kind of tilt our head a little bit and look at the road and like, oh yeah, death is coming. But what is that? Like we were talking, a fragment of
Yeah.
time between that sleep and awakeness, whatever that means. We don't even know how long that is. When the light turns and it transcends, and the acceptance of transition. Acceptance of transition.
I don't even think we know the cycles, like what we were talking about earlier about. We had a discussion earlier about when you are sperm, the entrance, this is science. This is true science. Women, they are known to wait, while the other sperms race around trying to find an egg, while the males are more. They'll zoom off and everything
I
and try
thought it
their
was a moment
best.
of consciousness.
I'm just adding on to that, saying that there are moments within those moments. That's literally a moment
Yeah.
because that's you creating a moment of being something
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, and then you have a moment of growing yourself into something new until you can take on what is considered the physical outside of the womb.
Yes.
So no, that's all I was saying to add on to what you were stating.
Eliminating the illusion of fear and accepting that this is who you are. This is what we are. And being a part of that process and accepting that process is most necessary. And bringing a level of acceptance to it. Acceptance to it is most necessary. We put so much energy into what's ahead. We don't enjoy. We think so much about the process of death. We don't know which way that comes. We can't predict the moment of transition. We cannot predict that. Or the moment of arrival, wherever that may be. Let go and allow self to just be.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We know everything as we've discussed on here because it's not about it can either happen this way or that way. We know things are all relative. And do you think if more people had that ideology, they would stop taking things so seriously as I have like for the people who are just simply average Joes and feel I gotta have a better life to the people who are as spiritual as us feeling like I gotta save life, would you think they would take it more as like we've had discussions where people have talked about oh the apocalypse is coming this and that and she's seen me joke about like nah I don't choose that so it's not gonna happen. So do you think if more people were more in a relaxed state and realize that it's a choice that they'd probably change more of who they are or evolve more of who they are and their image of who they desire?
Of course, uh, of course, and that's work. That's work to understand self and know when you need time to detox from that frame of thinking because it's an implant and we're raised on a certain rhythm pattern where it's do this is this way, this is that way. You learn and understand this is your belief systems. And to say, I don't want to adjust to that. I don't want to comply to those type of things because it doesn't feel real to where you definitely get insight. You grow and you see where love, even hatred sometimes resides. But it's making up the fact that you're in recognition of what is.
Absolutely.
And you be and that's a responsibility within that is understanding that concept.
What are your thoughts, Mike, on this?
About what? Like,
Do you think, in a sense, the question was, do you think if people have more of a mindset of relativity, that it's a choice, that there is no absolute yes or absolute no to get to where you say you desire to go, that that more people would be more reluctant to change who they are or evolve with more ease? Because, like, I was using the joke that I've had the same joke with her. Like, people talk about, oh, the apocalypse is coming, and I'll laugh because I simply say, I didn't choose that, so it's not happening. And you've seen
yeah.
how things have constantly worked in that sense. Do you think that people were like that, there'd be more of a change, a shift in ideology and even the world?
Yes and no, because like I said, and we gotta still keep that in mind that like we're all like a one consciousness, but and so whatever we choose to believe individually, it contributes to the what it manifesting within this reality as well. So, I mean, you could say that no, it's not, but of course your own reality, yeah, you could choose, but you can't deny the fact that there's other like there is laws of nature, there is the universal laws, just like I said when I mentioned about like the laws of gravity, the laws of just breathing and breath. Like you can't deny like these things that are there.
We can't deny them in the physical reality, but
Yeah.
then that can always shift, give or take the reality.
Well, yeah, yeah. So then, even if you try to say, "Oh, I, like, if I jump off this cliff, I'm gonna survive," you can't say that. Like, I mean, yeah, miracle or some, your spirit guys, if you like, but no, you're still
Well,
gonna fucking die.
no, no, and that's why I say to people
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
sense that and we've
Yeah.
had this discussion as well, that the person who believes themselves to be
Yeah.
God and flies off like
Yeah.
the skyscraper will
Hmm.
die.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is you are making sure you are separate from
Hmm.
everyone. And
Yeah.
I think even in the survival, when you're talking about that,
Hmm.
if you just think, I mean, you could think that, of course, and maybe there's a possibility, give or take your evolution of
Yeah.
who you are, but at the same time, the question still remains, do you see yourself as one knowing that that is the reason you're going to survive? It's like what we were talking about.
Hmm.
It's not survival of the fittest, it's divinity of the fittest,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because your divine efforts create every outcome in the world.
And in essence, like, well, yeah, like what I told you like earlier about like survival, like why are we even thinking about surviving when we in essence are forever infinite, limitless, you know? And we
Absolutely.
never, you know, like, and that's what, of course, we
Because
have been indoctrinated and programmed to think that, oh, we need money. Of course, yes, we have to experience and have the luxury and shit,
well, because
but
we're
like,
using
we
it
have to
as a
experience, yeah,
tool
yeah,
to
yeah.
yeah,
But
experience something.
yeah, in essence, it's like, yeah, yeah, you know.
No, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
And
Shoot.
in my own honest opinion, like I said, for the relativity thing, I personally think that um, you create what you choose, and it's also what you feel,
Yeah.
because you are, like we just talked
Yeah.
about, your own body is a network due to the
Mm.
nerves. And what you may not realize is, on a larger scale, you as being one with everyone around you is being that same network.
Yeah.
Like I said, I tell people this all the time. It's a universe within a universe within a universe. It just goes on and on and
Mhm.
on. You are being the nerves to something more complex or more simple in a sense. Um, but you make the choice. When I stated just earlier about making the choice to choose for those things to happen or not, it's not only that, it's because of the efforts that, because I'm pretty sure you've seen the science of, there have been people who've meditated in groups and have literally seen crime slow down
Yeah.
or lower down. And if you are capable of doing that, you have to realize that it's a domino effect. If you're choosing that, you're getting two
Mm.
others to choose that, 10 others to choose that, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth, to pile on
And
something much larger. Because all of us know that
yeah.
there are billions of people already awakened, but
And
we just see it as, oh, it's no big deal. No, billions out of 7 billion,
yeah.
billions. Not we're not hundreds of millions, not like in the fifties of millions or tens of millions, but
Yeah.
billions.
Yeah, and that's the reason why so important to be able to really make genuine connections and just connect with everybody, because that's why, you know, if because they know the, you know, okay, we'll just use this as an example. Yeah, the so-called powers that be, which of course that is us too, but you know, there's a reason why they don't. They're creating all this division. They're creating all this separation because they know that if we continue to connect and they reunite, that we're so powerful. All our thoughts, like I said, will manifest. Like all that energy or whatever we're paying attention, we're
When it
yeah,
go though, like kind of as above, so below.
yeah,
You can't know hot without knowing cold. You can't know
yeah,
darkness without knowing light. So
yeah,
we know those things don't exist. Just
yeah,
like you can't know good without knowing bad. But it's what we're portraying at
yeah,
this moment in time. Like you can't know sadness without knowing happiness, and then happiness without knowing
mm-hmm.
sadness. So I think it's also understanding those pieces. And don't get me wrong, even for me, there are times where I may forget that these pieces are important to who I truly am as a
Yeah,
person, instead of worrying about, oh, what am I going to do in this and that, but more so just, okay, well, I see what this is in this very moment, but the truth is, it's not really going to affect me. And then I think on top of that, most of us don't realize that we get so serious about life that we don't realize that it's like a storybook.
yeah,
The chapter can't go on forever, because I can make a joke about this when we talk about the Simpsons. Remember, they've been here forever, and some people say they call it zombie Simpsons because I feel it's a dead show. Your life can't be like that though. It can't be a dead show because then the chapter ends and it goes on to a new chapter. That chapter ends, you go on to a new chapter. So, I mean, I don't see the reason at times why people joke like they feel that way. I see why, but what I mean in a sense is there's no real use of it. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're actually gonna stop right here for you guys. But we did have an enjoyable conversation. But just to everybody out there, realize you are the gods, the goddesses, and creators within. Have a good morning, a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. And to everybody, namaste.
You know.